Hello, hello, hello. What is it? Wednesday? I don't even know. That's pretty bad. Um, oh, I don't think that's supposed to be playing. If it's playing, okay, maybe you caught the beginning of it. I just wanted to play something really quick. Now it's never my idea to make videos like this. It's because I have to though. Let me find my program and hit the play button here. Just listen to what he says really quick, because we're not talking about Elon Musk, but this is just something that he said that was interesting once concerning what we're going to talk about tonight.
Sodom and Gomorrah, dark.
Sodom and Gomorrah, dark. So now we're going to watch a video. Let me bring you to the desktop. And how should I do it? Should I play the whole video all the way through? Okay, comments are turned off. NASA. Together we rise. Maybe we'll read this later. Oh man, 4 minutes. I apologize in advance. But I think that this is important to watch and talk about. And I hope YouTube doesn't kick me out. So let's, I'm going to try to do this without pausing it. I'm going to force myself to go all the way through this without pausing it. Yeah, I have to talk myself into that right now. Okay, here we go.
I am gay. I am my authentic self.
I am a queer woman.
I am a transgender woman.
I am a lesbian.
I am gay and I'm my authentic self.
I'm a parent of a transgender son and I'm very proud of it.
I knew I wanted to be in science ever since I was a little kid. I felt that it was really important to be my most authentic self, especially knowing that this was my dream. Queer people can dream big.
Exploration needs to be for everybody. Every person, every kid, if they can see themselves, the astronauts that we send out in space, but also in the teams that make that possible, then we're doing our job. We're doing incredibly difficult and complicated things. We want people that look at things from a different perspective, that can bring us, new ways of solving problems, and diverse and inclusive teams do that.
If someone is in the closet and they see people like me doing our jobs, being effective at our jobs, I think that is the biggest encouragement that I can give them, is to show I can be my true self and I can do my job. They accept me 100%. We're all together working on this.
Who I am is enough. And when you resonate that kind of pride within yourself and then you exude the love that you have for yourself, before you know it, you've got a tribe of people who are just motivating and uplifting one another. That comes from being your authentic self. There's someone in the world struggling like you who needs to see someone like you to keep going. There's someone who needs an example, and you can be that.
I am non-binary. I am gay. I use they, them. There was one instance where I was participating in a candidate lunch, and they actually also use they, them pronouns. And it just felt really nice to see someone else in the room using those pronouns, and I made sure to introduce myself with my pronouns so that they could know, you're not the only one here. There's someone here who understands you and really just wants the best for you.
It requires some bravery, but take the leap. Just be honest, be yourself. And if you are yourself and they accept you, then you've found what you need. I've learned how to be confident myself, and I've also sort of established myself here. People know me. I get to work with smart and capable people, and our job is to explore outer space and to uncover the mysteries of the solar system as a daily matter. That's what we do each day.
I feel hopeful for the future because of the education that's out there and employee resource groups that NASA has established. I am my true self, in love with my wife. And if we can be ourselves, our mission here at NASA becomes more effective.
We're all different, and we should all accept each other for our differences, because that's what makes us special.
It's really important that we can show that visibility is safe, and that you can absolutely be a part of the team and loved and valued for who you are.
It's never too late to be yourself. It's never too late to find your happiness.
No matter what your identity is in the community, that there's going to be a place for you, and there's going to be a place for you to not only just be here, but to succeed and to thrive. I am a queer woman, and I am NASA.
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 Okay, a few things. Are you NASA? Never a straight answer surely has a new meaning to it, doesn't it? I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to make jokes, but there's a few jokes I wanted to make. Okay, right at the beginning, I'm going to make a little joke here. It's just for fun that I'm making these jokes to be a little bit lighthearted, okay? Listen to what this guy says. Okay, let's listen.
Transgender son. And
Whoops.
Authentic self.
Okay.
I'm a parent of a transgender son.
He's a parent of a transgender son. Do you know what that means he is? He's a transparent. He's transparent? Okay. There was something that made me really uncomfortable in this video. A couple things. First of all, this looks like Pastor Steven Anderson, but it's not him. The other thing was at 3:23. Okay, I want to talk about this. Let me just play this for a second. Tell me if you get uncomfortable watching this.
You are.
It's never too late.
What do you think of that? Does that make sense? Does that child understand anything about how things happen, how families become families? That's right, Thomas said, I pray for these people. See, a lot of people will come and probably watch, if they watch this video, and they'll be like, you shouldn't judge them. Well, I'm not judging them. They are individuals that do whatever they do. They could tell me they don't like what I do. So what I identify as, my pronoun, is the guy that has common sense. That's my pronoun. If that's even the right way to say it, however they say it. But this, first of all, I don't think that, I guess I just have to say it. Like, I don't think YouTube can do anything about my opinion about these things, can they? I don't think they can. Get your hand down, buddy, with the yellow shirt. Your hand isn't in a good spot.
It's never too late to be yourself.
Okay, and then there's this. What's a transgender woman? Is that a man that wants to be a woman? Or is it a woman that wants to be a manly looking woman? I don't understand. I really don't. But let's go. We'll come back to this, I think, but let's just read something here. If we want to talk about the prophets of this, the prophets of God that wrote the scriptures that foretold things. Well, Paul happened to foretell something, and we'll read about it right here. First of all, it starts here with, for the wrath of, I'm just going to start in 18, but this, okay, what does NASA promote What's the video called? Together We Rise. Okay. Well, you know who rises, who wants to rise? That's Lucifer. He wants to ascend into heaven. It's always, if you look at NASA, there's no God, and they're going to discover the universe. And did you notice during that video, right when he said that, they showed an animation? Yeah, watch this.
Uncover the mysteries of the solar system.
Uncover the mysteries of the solar system.
As a daily matter.
As a daily matter, and they've got animation right on the screen. See, that's not Mars. They never. You know what? How about this, NASA? Why do you go to make an animation if you already had like a spacecraft with a rover on it in this position already? Why didn't you just snap a shot and take and use that instead of wasting a bunch of money making an animation? Why? It's a good question. Okay. So they changed the glory of God into an image made that was corruptible. Okay. That's what it says here. It says, for the invisible things of him from creation, the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. And look what they did, guys. They changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. I think that's clearly talking about a globe. They turned this world into something that's not like, obviously the things in this world are corruptible, but the glory of God, actually Thomas in the chat knows this, Isaiah 40 verses 3 through 5, it talks about basically a flat earth, making the earth flat. And then it says, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed. So what I think the glory of the Lord is part of it anyway, is his creation. All the things that he spoke into what they are today. He declared all these things. That's part of his glory. I know that. But so they changed his glory into an image. So just think about that. Think about the globe. You think you can actually paint a picture of the world? I like to say it like this. Go out the front door of your house and look up and around. That's reality. Not Google Earth, not a map. You don't need a model. You need to experience the actual world you live in that's stationary and never moves unless there's an earthquake. So just think about that. The people who want to ridicule the people who are talking about flat Earth. Why do they want to? What do they even ridicule us about? They actually say, "Oh, you're so dumb. The stars do circles because we're spinning, not the stars." And I'm like, "But the stars are, because when you look up at night, you're gonna watch them move." So in reality, the stars are circling above us and the ground's not moving. That's reality. If someone wants to pretend or imagine that they're on this spherical image, go ahead. But it's all false, because look at the ground and look at the sky. One of them's rotating, one of them's not. We were taught the wrong thing. We inherited lies, guys. Okay, let me keep reading. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lusts of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. What's this talking about, guys? Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections. Just remember what we're talking about here. And remember, we are NASA. I am NASA. I am NASA. Never a straight... Never mind. Not time for jokes, Joe. Sorry, guys. Okay. To the lust of their own hearts. Okay, up to vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman. Wouldn't that be natural? Change your photo, Joe? Oh, do I still have... Oh, you guys, I'm sorry. What in the world? I never gave you the desktop, did I? I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button way back there. Thank you, Anthony. Oh, wait a minute. Jokes? Which jokes? I'm not... He said, I'm tired of looking at jokes. Please change your photo, Joe. I don't get it. Now I'm confused. Let's see here. Your video is locked up, Joe. Okay, I'm just noticing this in the chat. Sorry, guys. Oh, yeah, you saw Elon Musk. Now you should be able to see... you should be able to see Romans 1 now, right? Can you guys verify that in the chat just so I know? Yeah, it was Elon Musk on the screen, and I just accidentally hit the wrong button. So, if you guys can let me know if you can see Romans 1 there. I had the wrong thing on the screen the whole time. Thank you, Tony. Okay, so we were right down here. For this cause God gave them up to vile affections. For even... Actually, wait. Sorry. Even... Okay, we already went over that. And the men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves the recompense of their error, which was meat. Oh, thanks, Anthony. I get it. The joke is Elon. Sick of staring at jokes. I get it now. Thanks. Good to see you, by the way, Anthony. Hope you're doing well. Verse 28. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge. That sounds like NASA to me, doesn't it? Hey, I like that, Spooky. I, Jesus, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star. That's a good question. I don't think it's talking about Venus. I think Venus is an evil spirit. Venus is it's a planet. It's planeo. It causes to wander. It leads astray. It deceives. It causes to go off course. This is what that word planeo means. What the word planet means. That's where it comes from. The English word planet comes from that planeo. I am doing very well, Anthony. Thank you. Okay, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God. You guys see a lot of haters of God on the internet, don't you? On YouTube and stuff. I see a lot of it. I see a lot of it right in my own chat often when people come in that are, they come from the Globe channels, the people that promote that false image. Spooky says, has anyone seen Rob Skiba's video about September 11th and the birth of Messiah? I think I did a long time ago, maybe. Like, wasn't it? I think he was saying that it was like more, that was like more the date he thought that Christ was born was in September, I think. And it was like the third year or something, I don't really remember how that, I think I did see that video. We miss Rob Skiba. I think everybody misses Rob Skiba a lot. He was a cool dude. But remember this. He lives on in the things that he did over the years. One of them being taking cameras and chartering a boat across Lake Michigan or whatever. Is that what that is? Lake Michigan? I can't even remember. Looking at Chicago, and they just went across to see if it was a mirage or not. No mirage. Anyway, Rob was awesome. I met Rob one time very briefly in 2018. I just shook his hand and that was it. That was at the Flat FEIC or whatever. International Convention, whatever it's called. That was fun. That was fun to go there. I met a lot of cool people there, actually, a lot of cool people there. And then there's some people that I didn't even meet, like Jaron was there and I didn't even meet him. There's just so many people and so little time, I guess. Plus everyone was doing like presentations and whatever you want to call it. So, who knowing the judgment, or wait, I didn't finish there, sorry. Haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things. What are evil things? Disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. So they're on like a really, they're on a downhill. Okay, it's obvious, guys. Two men cannot make a baby. It's never happened and never will. Two women cannot make a baby. It's never happened and never will. I think it's right away in Genesis. It's not this right here. This is the story of Sodom and Gomorrah with Lot and the two angels that went there, and then all that story that happened. And that was dark. Elon Musk is right. That was dark. Sodom and Gomorrah. Ugh, that was dark. Well, I think I don't think it's a, you know what it is? It goes right along with the solar system and space exploration. Let's go to hell and then explore it. Let's go to the bottom of the abyss if we can. Let's just fall down there if we can. Like that's one thing that I actually want to talk about, because I'm not here to rip on people who are different that way. That's not really my business, except that when I see images like this, it really bothers me. Because now there's a child being given up to vile affections. And, you know, here's one thing. There's a reason why I'm very uncomfortable with this. It's very creepy to me to think of a quote-unquote family with only men in it. That's scary. We all have a mother, and without our mother, I don't think we would... I mean, like, if what I'm saying is a woman is something that is unreplaceable. Like, in a family, I mean. A mother. Everyone has a mother. Everyone. These 3 people on your screen have a mother. They each have mothers. So now, this child, what does he say about his mother? Does he know his mother? It's creepy. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube, and I probably have to be careful where I go with this, but I actually want to get off of that topic because I want to talk about another thing, and it happens to be, do you think that NASA is faking space? Do you think that... Let me tell you something. Where is this guy? Or gal, whatever you want to call her. Him. Amy. Yeah, I'm sure his name's Amy. Okay. Maybe I'm using the wrong pronoun, mister. Sorry. That's just freedom of speech that I have here. So this person here is not a reliable source to be in a position to teach your children or to be in a position to do science. Okay? I'm sorry. Let's just listen to a little bit of this.
Being effective at our jobs. I think that is the biggest encouragement that I can give them. If someone is in the closet and they see people like me doing our jobs, being
And what is your job, Amy? What do you do for a living, Amy?
effective at our jobs. I think that is the biggest encouragement that I can give them, is to show I can be my true self and I can do my job.
I bet you your true self is not named Amy. I bet you your parents didn't name you Amy. And I'm not going to go into the other place where I could go right now. I don't know any Amy's that have a... Oh, never mind. That's too far. Okay, so do you guys see on the right side here? Go up to SpaceX's Starship Catching Robotic Launch Tower. This is for all the people who think that NASA and SpaceX are faking space. Okay? There's some questions you have to answer. And like this would be for like Bob from Globebusters or Jaron, or I'm just trying to think of some people off the top of my head. Anyone who assumes that NASA is... Anyone that assumes that there's some elite group that's ruling the world, and they're human, like men, okay? Because that's not what's happening. Let's click on this. Now, I don't want to get an issue with copyright or anything like that. Let me just get through this ad or whatever. I want to show you what SpaceX is building. Just one of the things that they're working on. Just down in Texas. I need you to explain to me, since they're faking all this, and the rockets, like, a lot of people say, well, you know, we think there's something up there. We just think it's balloons or something. But you guys aren't doing your math and you're not thinking if you're saying that, because all you need is two people. Like, Bob could be in Colorado, or he's not there anymore. He's in North Carolina or whatever. But probably, if we did the right thing, I'm in Minnesota, like far away. And I'll bet you that we would be able to just see the space station at the same time. Now, that's pretty far, North Carolina or whatever, or South, I'm not sure. But what I'm saying is that it's constantly in view for someone, and at a far distance away that another person can see it all the time. So that you can't just make up, oh, that's an airplane that they rigged to look like at the ISS. You can't say that. That's not valid. It's here, let's do this. We're just going to look at some images. I'm not going to play the video. I'll explain some of these things. Okay. Whoa, that's not what I'm trying to do. Maybe I could play it without sound, but I probably shouldn't. I don't want to get a copyright strike. So, this in the middle of your screen here, that's like a launch, I don't know what they call it, launch stand or something, launched, whatever. The rocket sits up on that. Now look at the stairway. Do you see how tall that is? Okay, it's very tall. Now, that's very small in comparison to what they're building there. Now, they're going to go up on top of this thing and everything. But, okay, do you see how the scale of this stuff? You guys have to explain to me what they're building all this for. Since they're faking the rockets and they're not going to space. They're not actually launching satellites. You guys need to explain, what are they doing out here? Let's go up the tower a little bit. Okay, there's the booster. That's just the bottom part of the rocket. And by the way, right when this video starts, I think, you can see the size of some of the cranes. There, just look at this crane. They're doing things. They're building things. Do you guys see this crane? This says SpaceX on it, on the right. The tracks are way taller than Elon Musk. Do you guys see that? That's one of the biggest cranes in the world. And just so you know, they bought it. They own one. So SpaceX down in Texas, they purchased one of the biggest cranes in the world. It's like a custom job, you know, built for what they're doing or whatever. You know how much that booster weighs when it's coming down for a landing? They're going to try to get the weight down, but it's about 250 tons. 250 tons. And people say, you can't stop that with a thrust from a rocket engine? Yeah, you can. They do it. They've flown the Starship, and they've landed it. So let's go a little further. What I want to do is I'm just trying to point out that anybody who thinks that NASA is faking something, and you think NASA's lying to you, the people at NASA or the people at SpaceX or whatever, you have a surprise that someday will... I don't even know how to explain it. Thomas Morgan, you should come on and you could probably explain it better. The surprise that people are going to have. Their heart going to sink down to the floor. Like, I can't believe that I didn't realize that. Like, I don't know how... and here's the thing. Maybe it's pointless for me to say this because of what I read in the visions that Daniel and John had. They both saw all the people who were following the Lamb were being deceived by the dragon until the Ancient of Days came. Until the Lord came back. They were being deceived by the dragon. Are you being deceived by the dragon? Because a lot of people say, Satan's not a rocket. Well, says you. What does a rocket do? Oh, it just goes into the ocean. You've got a big surprise coming. You've got something to learn that I'm not going to be able to teach you or show you. I've been trying to show you for many years. But people, they would rather cling to something that is an assumption, fully an assumption, that there's no ISS and there's no people on it and there's a green screen and that's how they do their stuff in an underwater swimming pool and their spacewalks. No, they don't, guys. There's an abyss of darkness that's essentially a place of nothing. And it's in the firmament of heaven. It's the same darkness that was upon the face of the deep in the second verse in Genesis, in the Bible. The second verse in the Bible. This place that these people are going is mentioned. Darkness. Darkness. Okay? There's stars in it. God put sun, moon, and stars in it to give light upon the earth. And to be for times, seasons, days, and years. And to give light upon the earth. Otherwise, without the sun, moon, and stars, there would not be light upon the earth. Unless it was the light he created initially where he said, let there be light, and there was light. But the sun wouldn't be there to give us a day. And the moon to give us a month or whatever you want to call it. However you want to schedule it or calendar it out or whatever. Okay, so I just want to show you guys what they're doing here. Okay, this tower, this is massively big stuff, you guys. It's not small. It's huge. Okay, this tower is 469 feet tall, right? And all this is a place where the rocket will sit. It's going to sit on this stand here on the left. And actually, I'll play a video that shows this stuff, some of this stuff being moved around. Probably about 6 months ago or something. Sorry, I have to find it here. The point I'm trying to make is that don't make assumptions and call yourself a truth seeker, okay? If you're actually interested in the truth, you won't just default to space is fake. Instead of saying space is fake, say it like it is. Space is darkness. Darkness. That's what it is. That's what NASA says it is. That's what the astronauts say it is. They say it's a bottomless pit of deep black. A black so dark it has texture to it. Whatever that means. I'll try to find that video too. Let me get this one playing a little bit. I just want to show you. Okay, so actually this is probably a good video to play. Let's take a little break and watch this video. This one's called The Heavens, a Part of Man's World. Okay, this happened in the Apollo days, so check this out. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth. And they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth.
Or as I might also say, Здравствуйте, konnichiwa. I'm astronaut Anne McClain, and I'm currently living on the International Space Station. And today, I want to talk to you about languages. See you next time. Goodbye, das vidanya, and sayonara.
Oh yeah, by the way, her, whatever her name was, Anne McClain or whatever, yeah, she is NASA too. Because she had some fight with her girlfriend or whatever while she was on the space station, and she like somehow used the computer on the space station to go into her significant other's bank account or something crazy like that, and she got caught. But yeah, so she's I guess I don't even like saying those words, so she's one of the she's one of those that is mentioned in Romans 1. The women who do things that are unseemly or whatever. Just adding that. But yeah, Google Translate. We don't really have a language barrier in this world anymore. And what did God say? So this is, again, if you guys are thinking that all of this stuff is being faked, I think you need to wake up. I think you need to wake up and pay attention. If you're saying space is fake, that means you most likely believe that the Earth is a plane or something. It's not a globe. And so I would encourage you to weigh out the importance of that discovery in your life and ask yourself, why did I live my whole life and then suddenly, at the same time as many other people in the world, did I realize some of these obvious, clear things about the world that I live in? Who's showing me this? Why do I know this? Why am I being shown this? You know what? It's for a really good reason. It's a very crucial thing that you understand the truth and not partial truth and go into another lie. It's very important. See, what people are doing is ignoring everything that the aerospace industry is doing. They're ignoring all this stuff right here. You're ignoring all this stuff that SpaceX is doing. You're ignoring that they've landed over 100 boosters and reused them. And also, you're ignoring the sky, because you can look up at the sky and you can see tons of man-made objects in the sky, and we track them, and it's not something that anyone should deny unless you're afraid to look at the sky. The space station, you can see it over your house like 20 out of 30 days. I'm saying in a month, you'll see it like 20 times, not 20 times, 20 days. You'll see it like 30 times because you see it twice in one day sometimes. But if you just say, no, that's just they're faking something. That's a choice that you can make. I'm not saying that you can't do that. I'm just saying that I believe that what you have been shown, and I'm talking about the truth, what you've been shown is more important than you just making assumptions. And it's not fair to, I think, this is my opinion, I don't think it's fair to other people to just say that it's being faked. Like that men are faking it, that they swim in a pool and the ISS doesn't exist. Because all that's not doing any research and not doing due diligent observation. So let's go back to the video. Sorry about that. I think we were at 220. Oops, I'm having issues here.
Das Vidania and Sayonara.
Let me try to explain this meme or whatever you want to call it. Okay, there is a place of darkness above the earth, guys. We all seen it. God called it night. He divided it from the light from the darkness. He called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So when you see nighttime, that's darkness. And it actually looks like darkness, except for you see stars, right? So that's darkness. And what they're trying to do, see, in the very first verse in the book, or in the Bible, it says that God created the heavens and the earth. And then the second verse says, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So let's pretend that this white box up here, or actually, can you guys see? You guys can't see my mouse, can you? The place where they're flying into, that's light, okay? God's up there. The thing that they call the solar system or universe, that's darkness. It's not a solar system. It's outer darkness where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. That I'm quoting Jesus. Outer darkness, okay? And it's the sides of the pit. And NASA, way back in the late 60s, they found a key, or they were given a key to enter into that place. And that's in the book of Revelation. And they even called it Apollo, okay? In Revelation, it says the angel of the bottomless pit, his name's Apollyon. He's the king of this world, okay? Or he's their king. So, the beast. Okay, do you guys see that I have up on the top left, I have 7 planets, okay? And the 8th, okay, these are wandering stars. And an interesting thing that I learned, and I don't know this, but I'm just going off of what Enoch and the prophets wrote. But Enoch, when he saw these 7 stars that didn't obey God's ordained courses, they went off course. That's what planeo means. That's the word means wandering star, or wandering, to lead astray, to cause to wander. That's what that word means. It even means to deceive. But he called them mountains, or he said they were like mountains, like great mountains burning with fire, okay? And these 7 stars were imprisoned in the blackness of darkness. That's in Jude, verse 13. Wandering stars, to whom was reserved the blackness of darkness forever. Okay? So the planets are imprisoned. This is just what the Bible says. The planets, 7 of them, are imprisoned in outer darkness, in the blackness of darkness. And Enoch, 2 times he said they were like mountains. Well, do you guys recall in Revelation 17 a place where John is taken in the Spirit and he saw 7 mountains? Is that a coincidence that Enoch saw 7 mountains in the Spirit in this place of darkness, in this waste and horrible place where there was no water and no birds? That's what Enoch did. And John, the angel, said, "Come hither," or whatever. "I will show you he showed him the beast and mystery Babylon. And he said that the beast was the 8th mountain. It was the 8th and is of the 7. Well, that's what I'm saying the space station is. It is the 8th wandering star. There's 7, and then there's 8, and then there's the fixed stars that circle Polaris. Oh, I got an error message here. Hopefully everything's working okay. So, Thomas Morgan puts a good verse in there. Ephesians 6:12 says that we're not struggling against flesh and blood. I agree, Thomas. They are ignoring the prophets. They make their words of zero effect. And I'm not saying everyone. I'm just saying there's, like if you have the idea that there's people at NASA swimming in a pool and filming it as if they're not in a pool, you're not understanding the battle that we're in. You're not understanding this war that is being waged. This is a spiritual battle, and it if you read Ephesians 6:12, it says we're not struggling against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities and the rulers of the darkness of this world. Where's the darkness of this world? And it says spiritual wickedness in high places. Well, if you think about what that actually says, or if you go look at the Greek, it says cosmic powers of evil in the heavenly realm. In the heavenly realm, not in the earth, not anywhere on the earth, okay? And actually, there's another thing that is interesting that I've started to kind of wonder is, are the astronauts human beings, or are they fallen angels taking the form of men? Because Enoch said in chapter 17 that he saw they were like flames of fire or whatever, and when they wished, they could make themselves appear as men. So it's just something I've thought about, I do know that there's several books of Apocrypha. The vision of... actually, let me pull up my notebook, if it's still open, and let me see if I can read you this. The vision of Isaiah, the ascension of Isaiah, chapter 7, verse 9. What I'm trying to point out is that there's demons in the firmament. There's fallen angels locked, imprisoned in with those planets, and that's where NASA thinks they're going. They're going into this evil realm, and of course, it proves the globe, right? Yeah, it looks like a globe from there. right? Hello, Tune C. Well, it's me, John Wayne. I don't know who. I'm not. John Wayne. Anyway, good to have you. Okay, verse 9, and this is in the vision of Isaiah. And we ascended to the firmament, I and he, and there I saw Samuel and his hosts, and there was great fighting therein, and the angels of Satan were envying one another. Okay, there's one verse. Now, if we go to chapter 10, it's verse 29, it says, and again he descended into the firmament, where dwelleth the ruler of this world. And he gave the password to those on the left, and his form was like theirs. Okay, let's see here. Verse 30, and I saw when he descended and made himself like unto the angels of the air, he was like one of them, and he gave no password. Okay, and then in the vision of St. Paul, he also, whoops, I almost ruined that. I don't have it up right now, but he also looked, when he was in the heaven or whatever, the first heaven or something, he looked back on the firmament, and what did he see? He named a bunch of evil spirits. And then he said there was power of evil there that draws it down to itself the hearts of men. Okay, the planets. What is space exploration about? What if the planets were in the sky? Do you think they'd think that they can go there into space? Would they have a place to go? What would be their drive to go to the darkness in the sky if there wasn't anything to go to? See, the planets have deceived the world into thinking that there's a place to go to. But they can't. Like low Earth orbit, that's just perpetual free fall into an abyss. It's like they're going into the abyss earlier than they need to. Because they'll be thrown there one day. So this is it all goes back. This is NASA. This is NASA. Nothing makes sense that they're doing. Okay. What do we need to live? We need water, don't we? So they're going to go explore a place with no water and pretend that that's going to be our future and teach our children that crap. You know, this astronaut, let me just play this, or let me play a video in the background with no sound, just so you guys aren't too bored with the screen. This NASA astronaut that I did a video about yesterday, she was talking about how we're going to go listen to her. I wonder if that video ever got done. I think it didn't. I think it quit. I made a video and I don't think it ever finished. Something happened. It's going to ask me if oh, look at that. That's me right there in front of that little horn. Interesting, huh? Yeah, it malfunctioned, so forget that. Let's look it up. ISS. Oh yeah, let me play the sound on this.
I just can't.
Telephone from the Oval Room at the White House.
And this certainly has to be the most historic telephone call ever made from the White House. I just can't tell you how proud we all are of what you have done. For every American, this has to be the proudest day of our lives. And for people all over the world, I am sure that they too join with Americans in recognizing what an immense feat this is. Because of what you have done, the heavens have become a part of man's world.
That's so wrong. Okay, let's I'll see if I can find this other video. Here. This is a little video about how much sense they make. They're really trying to make sense, okay?
So in space, you don't swallow your toothpaste. Doesn't make any sense.
The after dinner mint.
Brush my teeth like you do here at home, except since there's no sink, you don't spit your toothpaste out, you swallow it.
Doesn't make any sense.
After brush our teeth, I cannot spit, so what I will do? Guess what? I just swallow it.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yes, that's right. You just swallow the toothpaste.
Doesn't make any sense.
Swallow it, and it's sort of like mouthwash, but it tastes a little gross.
Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so now what am I going to do? I've got a mouthful of toothpaste stuff. I got a dirty toothbrush. So what I do is I just swallow the toothpaste. Doesn't make any sense.
Because unfortunately there's no sink around here that can just spit the toothpaste out into. So that's how it's done.
Doesn't make any sense.
It made no sense.
See, it makes no sense. Everything they do makes no sense. But let's listen to this. Let's check this out. Let's go over to the desktop. I found the video. I want to, whoops. What in the world happened here? Desktop? Okay, there we go. I don't know what I'm doing. Expedition. Okay. We're going to skim through this. We're going to find where she is telling children about... This is so dumb. Like, I don't even... what's she doing? She's making food. When's she going to talk about drinking her pee? Let's try right here.
You know, for me, I think it is the process of adapting to weightlessness. The fact that you get up here and
that I got the phone call.
I don't remember where it was, guys.
I just hope that you are enjoying the experience and
laboratory environment. It allows us to see things.
Okay, let's
continue
see.
to use that water the next day.
Okay, here we are.
Studies astronaut.
Okay. I'm sorry, but this is child abuse. This is hey, Beck from Oz, good to see you. This is child abuse, you guys. That's all it is. They're teaching children wickedness and evil, and to do, what does it say in Romans? To do things which are not convenient. Where did it say that? Against nature, to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not convenient. Okay, they're teaching children like Ashlyn. What's the importance of space travel today, and how do the studies astronauts help improve our daily lives? That's actually a good question. And listen to the answer.
To help improve our daily lives. It's a great question, Ashlyn, and the answer is there are a multitude of ways that what we do up here can help affect and benefit the lives of people back on Earth. There's lots of examples that we can talk.
Okay, listen carefully, because again, what's the title of my video? Promoting only that which makes no sense.
Talk about one that we like to talk about is our water reclaiming system. So the way that we are able to take the water in that we use up here, that we drink, and then we're able to restore it so that we can continue to use that water the next day. And that type of technology can be used elsewhere on the earth where clean and abundant water is not available. And so those types of technologies then can be applied in those regions.
Okay, so go to the wherever, I don't know where she's talking about, places that don't have a good water supply. Go there and build let's do a little research, guys. What I'm saying is they make no sense. Watch. Let's go do a little Wikipedia research about NASA's water, if that's how you spell that, reclamation on ISS. Let's just do a little research here for a minute, because we're gonna find out how much one of these things costs, and then we can ask if, maybe in the Congo or wherever they don't have water. I don't know. wherever they don't have water, if they can afford one of these things, you know, or maybe NASA can just donate it, you know, so that they can drink their coffee today and have the same coffee tomorrow. What a joke. Let's see here. New brine process. Oh boy. Improve water. Okay, a brine. They're using a brine processor. Increases water recycling on the station. Whew. These guys are high tech. Okay. Wait, that's what I forgot to do. Hold on. Let's go back. I forgot to do. We're just gonna try to find the cost of the system. I don't even know what it's called. Water recycling. That's in 2014. First is captured, such as urine. Okay, let's read this. This is sick. They're teaching this to children to say this is a good thing. This is the future. This is how humans can outdo God, but God doesn't exist. So dumb. Okay. Dr. Contes recycles water by using chemical or biological treatments to remove impurities and contaminants in wastewater to turn into clean drinking water. So you can, you know, pee it out, and then they can do a little chemical stuff to it, shake it around a little, swirl it around, and then you suddenly it's almost like witchcraft. It's like magic. And then you got clean water. You sure it's clean? I don't think it's clean. I think it's inconvenient BS that you're doing. There is an entire closed-loop system on board the ISS dedicated to water. First astronaut wastewater is captured, such as urine, sweat, or even moisture from their breath. Then impurities and contaminants are filtered out of the water. It's not water anymore at that point, you guys. It's urine or sweat. That's not water, or I guess it has water in it, but this is inconvenient. This is not good. The final product is potable water that can be used to rehydrate food, bathe, or drink. Repeat. The system sounds disgusting, but recycled water on the ISS is cleaner than what most Earthlings drink. Sure. Okay, now let's do this. So what's it called? That's all I want to know. I just want to know what it's called. Cost of, maybe let's just do another page. Cost of recycling water. I should have put that first. On ISS. Let's see if we can get a dollar amount here. Oh, sweet. This is not very much. Living in such a remote and inhospitable location, water becomes something of a commodity aboard the ISS, where it can cost approximately $10,000 for a bottle of water. This is promoting that which makes no sense. So let's just say if a bottle of water costs $10,000, you know, like, let's see here. What did I bought a vehicle for $10,000 before. Probably a nice vehicle. You could trade that for a water bottle on the ISS. Okay, so what that means is that it costs a lot of money to launch things up there. Okay, now that's just for a bottle of water. That's not what we're trying to find out. Here, let's see. Let's do this. Cost of... I'll try to reword that. Cost of water... Let's try that. Oh, wait a minute. This makes it very expensive to send water from Earth to space. More than $83,000 per gallon, to be exact. $83,000 a gallon. Water recovery system, International Space Station. Okay, here we go. This might give us something. I just want a ballpark. Number, because these people make no sense. That's what they're doing. Okay, let's see. With the arrival of the new water recovery system in November 2008, the International Space Station moved closer towards its planned increase in crew, and mankind took another small step towards the exploration of deep space. Where is the price? Okay, let's see. Located in the Destiny Laboratory. Node. I'm just kidding. I always say node. Nominal. That's my most hated word. Nominal. Don't say nominal in the chat or you get kicked out. Okay, located in the Destiny Laboratory aboard the ISS, the system forms part of a 250 million, is that what that's, M? Home improvement project, which also included a $19 million Russian-built space toilet. I'll tell you what, I will build you the most luxurious space toilet for 19 million. I'll do it for half. I'll do it for 9.5 million. You give me 9.5 million, 9.5, and I will build you the most. I mean, it'll talk to you even if you want. I mean, it'll, you won't have to wipe or nothing. It'll take care of all that for you. 9.5 million, and I'll be rich. Because it doesn't cost that much to make a space toilet. I don't care if you make it out of space junk or what, like space approved materials, whatever. It's all stupid. It's all just dumb. Okay, by the end of the 1960s. Okay, that's not. So we know what we're talking about. Okay, so let's go back to the video. So she's saying she likes to talk about this, so let's listen to her.
To take the water in that we use up here, that we drink, and then we're able to restore it so that we can continue to use that water the next day. And that type of technology can be used elsewhere on the earth where clean and abundant water is not available. And so
for 250 million, just remember that. 250. How much water could you bring to those people for 250 million? I bet you a whole bunch. But the problem isn't that there's no water. The problem is that NASA just spends money on this dumb stuff instead of people in our world actually being taken care of. Do you get it? Let's do a quick little search here. Total cost of ISS. Let's just look at this. This is another good number. Oh, 150 billion. That's like the cost of it. Now to run it, total cost, let's see. Per year, $4 billion a year. $4 billion a year. So it's 150 billion to build it. Like they spent that much to build it. And it's $4 billion a year. And what did they do there? Jack squat. I'll show you what they do there, actually. You want to know what they do there? Enoch teaches us about what they do there. It's way more accurate than what chapter is that? 61 or, yeah, 61, I think. Yeah, Enoch will tell us about what they do there. Let's do... Okay. I think it's this one. Or is it 67? Yeah, it's 67, sorry. Okay. And in those days, the word of God came unto me. Okay, this is to Noah. And this is actually quite interesting because he tells Noah about the flood that's going to happen. And he tells him about something else that's going to happen much, much later. And I believe that we're watching it happen. You guys know that a lot of us have learned that there's waters above, right? So those dark waters, they're dark waters. It's darkness. That's what we look up. It's night sky. That's what, remember, God divided the light from the darkness, and the light he called day, and the darkness he called night. But it was in the midst of the waters that he made the firmament and divided all of that, okay? Divided the waters that were above the firmament from underneath it, or from below it, or whatever. There's waters of darkness. I don't know what else to call them. I think it's just the underworld is what I think it is. But look at this. And he will imprison those angels who have shown unrighteousness in that burning valley, which my grandfather Enoch had formerly shown me in the west among the mountains of gold and silver and iron and soft metal and tin. And I saw that valley in which there was a great convulsion and a convulsion of the waters. And when all this took place, from that fiery molten metal and from the convulsion thereof in that place, there was produced the smell of sulfur, and it was connected with those waters. You know, they talk about the smell of space. It's like a unique smell, and you only get to smell it when they like come in from doing a spacewalk. It's a unique smell, and it smells like burnt hamburger. I'll play a video in a minute. It smells like a lot of things: burnt cookies, gunpowder, spent gunpowder, brimstone, a lot of different things that the astronauts say that it smells like. And it was connected with those waters. And that valley of the angels who had led astray mankind burned beneath that land. And through its valleys proceed streams of fire, where the angels are punished who had led astray those who dwell upon the earth. But those waters... Okay, now this is what the ISS is, guys. Check this out. Hey, Chuck 1984, good to see you, man. Chuck says, I'm with your dad, effed up. I think it's a literal solid barrier. Has to be for pressure to exist. That's it. That's interesting. That's good. And I agree. I mean, if the idea of a vacuum, you don't have an environment of a vacuum and then 15 pounds of air pressure or whatever inch, I forget what it is, inch pounds or whatever, like where we are, 15 pounds per square inch or something like that. You don't have that, even if there's a gradient because of gravity. That doesn't work either, because it doesn't care if it goes up or down or whatever. It's always going to try to equalize. So check this out. But those waters, this is what I'm talking about with what kind of experiments, or what are they doing on the ISS? They're doing medical breakthroughs and all this. Why? Because they have a zero-G environment they can do experiments in. An unnatural, unseemly, inconvenient environment where they're falling into an abyss of darkness perpetually. And we need to realize what's happening. Okay, but those waters shall in those days serve for the kings and the mighty and the exalted and those who dwell on the earth, for the healing of the body, but for the punishment of the spirit. Now their spirit is full of lust, that they may be punished in their body. For they have denied the Lord of spirits, and see their punishment daily, and yet believe not in his name. They see their punishment daily. And in proportion as the burning of their bodies becomes severe, I don't really know what that means, but a corresponding change shall take place in their spirit forever and ever. For before the Lord of spirits none shall utter an idle word. For the judgment shall come upon them, because they believe in the lust of their body and deny the Spirit of the Lord. Let's see. Toon C says, not allowed to go back up. It was restrained from going back in the firmament. That same water, that same amount has been here all along. It's the rain cycle. Keep in mind there was no rain before flood. Someone, G.R. Cleve, said that it didn't say that anywhere, that there was no rain before the flood. And I think it does. It says the water came out of the ground. Came out of the ground. So I don't know. I might be wrong about that, but I don't think there was rain before the flood. I really don't. Let's see here. So those waters, though, do you guys know that the waters that we're talking about, where the angels are punished in that burning valley or whatever, it says right here, I'm going to read to their end, but look what happens to those waters because of what they're doing. Because they believe in the lust of their body and deny the Spirit of the Lord. And those same waters will undergo a change in those days. For when those angels are punished in these water springs shall change their temperature. And when the angels ascend, what do rockets do, you guys? What do the beasts do in Daniel's vision? They all ascend. They all are lifted up from the earth. They all go from the ground to the sky, up to the stars. Okay? These are, and it even says in Daniel 8, like it's interpreted for him. It says these are the spirits of the kings of the Medes, or kings of Media and Persia. These are the princes of I guess, darkness. They're fallen angels. Like the technology that we call a rocket or like a space capsule or dragon. Okay, that's not just a metal machine. It's different than that. It's actually destroying. It's destroying the separation between light and darkness in the firmament. Okay, if there's a prison of darkness and there was a bunch of evil spirits imprisoned there, and like Jesus, when he was going to cast those legion into those, well, he was going to cast them into the deep, which is that darkness, that dark abyss. He was going to cast them there, and they're like, no, don't cast us into the deep, cast us into those swine. So they didn't want to go to that prison, okay? And you know what's interesting? Babylon the Great is a prison for evil spirits. It's a habitation of devils. It says that in Revelation 18, verse 2. Babylon the Great is fallen, has become the habitation of devils, and a hold of every foul spirit, and a cage for every unclean and hateful bird. And actually, if you look at the Greek, it just says a prison 3 times. It says a prison for this, a prison for that, a prison for that. Evil spirits. Okay? I think it's time that we come to grips with the idea that there is, in the firmament, there is a prison. I think we could call it Sheol. It's not a physical place like the earth. It's hell. Actually, we're going to learn about a lake of fire right here. Let me finish reading this. Sorry, I got sidetracked. And those same waters will undergo a change in those days, for when those angels are punished in these water springs shall change their temperature. And when the angels ascend, this water of the springs shall change and become cold. And I heard Michael answering and saying, the judgment wherewith the angels are judged is a testimony for the kings and the mighty who possess the earth. Because these waters of judgment minister to the healing of the body of the kings and the lust of their body. Therefore, they will not see and will not believe that those waters will change and become a fire which burns forever. The lake of fire. That is that darkness above us in the sky that God called night. That's going to turn into fire. And it's because of the angels ascending in those waters. So next time, let me get a video up here. I'm going to find a video of a rocket disturbing these waters, ascending into these waters, okay? I think this one should do. This might do. I don't know. Where did it go? It would be sweet to have a different program. This one doesn't always work so well. Here we are. Okay, I'll just mute it. Okay, did you see that? Do you see that? Well, according to this world, that's just breaking the speed of sound. That's just a shockwave. Yeah, just a shockwave. Do you see that? Why is a rocket doing that? Should I read that verse again about those angels ascending in those waters? Okay, there was a video that I'm going to play here that just, it's kind of a fun one, kind of. I think you guys will like it. It's not like it's a like burnt hamburger, that's what it's called. Like burnt hamburger.
The Crew Dragon to get us from Earth to low Earth orbit. The Crew Dragon, the Falcon 9 rocket into space. Crew Dragon, Crew Dragon, Crew Dragon, now here on the International Space Station.
Orbiting laboratory, work is being done up there.
The International Space Station is outside the Earth's atmosphere in space. Tricky spacewalk. Astronaut on the International Space Station to help keep the space station running. Maybe you're working on the toilet to understand dark matter to space and thawing out, human cells to return that science to Earth's microgravity laboratory. It's like 6,000 square feet up here in the International Space Station. There's a lot of other people up here. We're going to be here for 6 months. We're in it for the long haul, which is also very exciting.
Okay, now listen to what this next, the gal that's on the ground, listen to what she says.
Spacewalks and using tools in space.
The Artemis program.
The Artemis program.
The Artemis program, and the work that we do right here on the International Space Station. Been an astronaut, oh gosh, I'm just not going to be any good at that. Space station, we're looking back billions of light years. It's kind of mind-boggling.
To the space station.
I experienced some nausea.
How is sleeping in space?
Because you're just floating. It's not used to just floating. And so it does feel a little weird.
Floating up in space.
Our planet is 2/3 covered in ocean. Of course, I love to look out the window at our beautiful planet. It's lovely to look out the window and watch the world go by. Well, it's got to be floating. You can just kind of perch up on the wall. I can just hop over to the side and just find a nice little perch to sit on board the space station.
What does it smell like in space?
So that's an interesting question. So it smells like people up here. It's not really fresh air. When people went out to do a spacewalk and then came back inside, I smelled the smell of cooking meat. It smelled like hamburger to me, which was so strange. And that smell is the smell that space smells like hamburger. It smelled like hamburger to me, which was so strange. We have so much fun up here. It's just a great time up here. I smelled the smell of cooking meat, and we're getting paid for it. 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 Maybe you're working on the toilet. And so it does feel a little weird. Oh gosh, I'm just not going to be any good at that. And we're getting paid for it, 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 paid for it. I smelled the smell of cooking meat. It's kind of mind-boggling. And we're getting paid for it, paid for it.
The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is.
Okay, so I brought up the vision of St. Paul the Apostle a little bit earlier. We're going to watch a video right now that I named In the Firmament, because I want you guys to understand what Paul says he saw when he looked down at the firmament from above it. Okay, he saw things in the firmament, he saw things under the firmament, and it was no good. Check this out. If it plays. I think my program might have just locked up.
The Crew Dragon.
Okay. I guess it's not playing. Let's see here. Yeah, that video must be corrupted file or something. There's another one I want to play. Give me a moment. Okay, watch this one.
Closely following the recovery of the Discoverer capsule at Cape Canaveral, another historic satellite is ready for launching. In this nose cone is packed the 100-foot balloon of Echo 1 to be carried into orbit by a Thor-able Delta rocket. It's only the second firing of this three-stage missile, but the 92-foot rocket performs flawlessly. This launching, closely followed by successful tests of Atlas and Polaris rockets, was a landmark in America's spectacular two-day display of progress in space research.
This is the satellite, a huge empty balloon, here shown while still in its hangar. The inflated balloon is 10 stories high, made of a strong, new aluminized plastic. Strong, yet only half as thick as the cellophane around a package of cigarettes. Strong, yet only half as thick as the cellophane around a package of cigarettes. Its aluminum coating gives it nearly 100% reflectivity. That balloon will soon be hurtling across the sky 1,000 miles high over North America. It will be bounced off a man-made satellite. If it works, it will be the first time voice has traveled from the Earth up to a man-made moon and back to Earth again.
This is President Eisenhower speaking. It is a great personal satisfaction to participate in this first experiment in communication.
President Eisenhower's voice was picked up loud and clear, making ECHO a success.
Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds, and four-footed beasts, and creeping things. They became fools. They became fools. They became fools.
It's our privilege today to
changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds, and four-footed beasts, and creeping things.
It's a spiritual war, guys. Spiritual war. I like what's going on in the chat. I'm gonna comment. After this Metallica finishes. Okay, Blake Lee says, meteors are fallen angels or demons that keep trying to go to the heavens but keep falling back to the ground. That's true. That's true. The Testament of Solomon. Actually, I actually made a video about it. And let me see if I can find that video really quick. I did make a video about, oh, I know where it is, actually. It's, let me find it here. The power of the air, false prophet. There's a video, I gotta find it, but it's demons in the firmament. Yeah, what they do is they can hear the sentences that go forth upon mankind when they fly up there. And so Solomon asked them, he's like, how do you guys intermingle with the stars of heaven or whatever? How you can get up that high or whatever? They're like, well, we can't. We can go up there and listen in, but then we don't have a place there, so we run out of strength and fall. And men on the earth think we're falling stars and whatever, so, or shooting stars or something. Let me find it. It's going to be worth watching. It's a story that is in the Testament of Solomon. It's quite interesting. It's about a man and his son were fighting, and King Solomon was kind of like being the mediator for them or something. Where is this? How mighty the demons were. Check this out. And when they were gone, I ordered Orneus be brought forward and said to him, tell me how you know this. And he answered, we demons ascend into the firmament of heaven and fly about among the stars. And we hear the sentences which go forth upon the souls of men. And forthwith we come, and whether by force or of influence, or by fire, or by sword, or by some accident, we veil our act of destruction. And if a man does not die by some untimely disaster or by violence, then we demons transform ourselves in such a way as to appear to men and be worshipped in our human nature. I therefore, having heard this, glorified the Lord God, and again I questioned the demons, saying, tell me how ye can ascend into heaven, being demons. and amidst the stars and holy angels intermingle? And he answered, just as things are fulfilled in heaven, so also on earth are fulfilled the types of all of them. For there are principalities, authorities, world rulers, and we demons fly about in the air, and we hear the voices of the heavenly beings, and survey all the powers, and as having no ground basis on which to alight the rest, we lose strength and fall off like leaves from trees. And men, seeing us, imagine that the stars are falling from heaven. But it is not really so, O king, but we fall because of our weakness, and because we have nowhere anything to lay hold of, and so we fall down like lightnings in the... Yes, Tune C says, so we are going with that true based on a man who is known for witchcraft and sorcery. Sorry, I'm not reading that right or something. How logical is that? Ever heard of the Ring of Solomon? Yes, the Ring of Solomon. I believe that's true. That he used demons, he had control over the demons, and it was like given to him by God, or by angels or whatever. And actually, there's a reason why. Actually, Tune C, this might be interesting for you to check this out. There's a reason why I believe that Testament of Solomon, and it's not just because I choose to believe it. Thomas Morgan knows exactly what I'm talking about. At the end of the book, King Solomon is he let the demon from the Red Sea, what was the demon's name? I don't remember his name, but the demon from Arabia it was wind. It was the wind or whatever, like a harsh wind that would kill people or whatever when it blew on them, and cattle and stuff. So King Solomon sent someone with his ring to go capture the wind, or that demon of the wind or whatever. I can't remember his name. Epiphus or something like that. And here's the interesting part. He says, hey, I can lift this stone for the temple or whatever that no one could lift. Then he does it, no problem. And he says, and if you allow me, I can get the demon from the Red Sea. And Solomon finds out that that's one of the demons that when they were crossing the Red Sea that was involved in that. And he was basically bound under the sea there. And then so they were trying to trick Solomon, but he tricked them. Because they're like, we can bring you the great pillar. And he's like, okay, go get the great pillar or whatever. And then they're bringing it to him there, and it's being borne through the air, like flying through the air, this great pillar. And he took his ring and however that worked, but he bound them up and he said, stay there. And they're there to this day. And when men look at the great pillar in the sky, they can see it, but they can't see the demons that are holding it. And actually, I'll play that video. I made a video about that. But the interesting part is it says, when they let down the pillar, then it'll be the end of the world. Look on your screen. Just think about that. A pillar being borne through the air. And actually, King Solomon was intimidated when he saw it. He was like, whoa, this could destroy the world. Because it was so powerful, and it was, again, had to do with the wind. And think of Revelation 7, there's 4 angels holding back the 4 winds from hurting the earth. It was given to those angels to hurt the earth and the sea and the trees and whatever. So think about that. There is some significance. Let me play a little bit more of this video, and then we'll go to the demons in Arabia. The depth of the night, and suddenly, and we set cities in flames and fires in the fields. For the stars have firm foundations in the heavens, like the sun and the moon. And I, Solomon, having heard this, ordered the demon to be guarded for 5 days. And after the 5 days I recalled the old man, and was about to question him, but he came to me in grief, and with a black face. And I said to him, "Tell me, old man, where's thy son? And what means this garb?" And he answered, "Lo, I am become childless, and sit by my son's grave in despair. For it is already 2 days that he is dead." But I, Solomon, on hearing that, and okay, I remember this video was a reject. The music was too loud. So basically what happened was the demon knew 3 days before this son was going to die that he was going to die. And so when the father and son were arguing or whatever, and Solomon's like, "Come back to me in 3 days or something," and the demon's like laughing and looking at Solomon, ha 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 ha. And Solomon pulled him aside later, and he's like, why, or tell me how you, or like, why, what are you laughing about, or whatever, smiling or whatever. And the demon said, "Because the son's going to be dead in 3 days." And Solomon's like, "Is that true? Like, is that the truth? And how do you know it?" And so then that's when he explained that they can fly up there and hear the sentences that go forth from God. They can hear that when they go up into the firmament and intermingle with the stars. But then they can't stay there because they have no place there, and they fall back to the earth. Okay, so that is true, Blake Lee. Thanks for bringing that up. Corey, welcome, and Troy, and welcome everyone, by the way, if I didn't welcome you. Awaken the Light, Leslie Boslar, Thomas Morgan, Chuck 1984, Toon C. There was a lot of people in here. A320, Rebel Nazarene. Let's see. Blake Lee. I might say your name twice. Beck from Oz, Beck from Oz, Beck from Oz. I'm just kidding. It's awesome to see you guys. Tony's Coffee, Rad Coffee House. Let's see. Toon C says, "That's deep, Joe, but you put it in a new perspective to me, starting to see more light over here. Thank you for that explanation." Hey, man, you know what? All I'm doing is sharing what I'm learning about, what I'm learning about a lot of these things is like, it seems to be, controversial, like even in like the truth community, because I can't just default to everything's fake because it's not. And I get a lot of this from the scriptures and a lot of these apocrypha books and stuff. But there's obviously a lot of people disagree with the stuff that I am learning, and I can't really, I'm not trying to force anybody to believe what I believe, but I'm just trying to share it in a clear way, just what I've been learning, because to me it seems to be of great importance. Okay, I don't want to watch this whole video of Demons of Arabia, but let me play the end for you. And this is in that Testament of Solomon. So if you want to take a look, it's on YouTube here in audio, or you can find it online pretty easily to the book. But I'm not saying that everything is right in that book or anything. There's something very significant at the end of the book that seems significant to the days we're living in, when they're landing rocket boosters using fire and things like that. So let's check this out.
And climbed up and set the stone safely in its place upon the corner of the temple, and I was greatly rejoiced, and all Jerusalem with me. After that I sent Ephippus to fetch to me the demon that is in the Red Sea, and commanded them to bring with them the great pillar. And after a while I saw the pillar being borne through the air, and was astonished at the strength of the two demons. And when I considered with myself how mighty they were, and how they could shake the whole world in a moment of time, I feared to let them go. I made therefore a circle about them in the air with my ring, and said, "Stay there." And the demons stayed, holding the pillar sloping between heaven and earth. And there they are to this day. And if anyone looks, he can see the pillar sloping in the heavens, but the demons he cannot see. But when they let fall the pillar, then will be the end of the world.
To blaspheme his name, and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven.
And if anyone looks, he can see the pillar sloping in the heavens, but the demons he cannot see.
Is that interesting or what? And what I've been saying is, in Daniel 7, like those beasts, he saw 4 beasts and he like described them, what they looked like. Well, the descriptions he gives, to me, it really points out the shuttle, and then the Soyuz, and then the space station, and then the Falcon 9. And I have lots of videos that go into that, go over that. But some of the I wanted to comment on the chat here. Toon C says, "You're so right. Space is not fake." I want to Toon C. Maybe you haven't heard kind of what I'm understanding in a different way than I used to about what space is, the solar system in general, the entire solar system. One thing I learned from the Apollo 11 essentially is that they were doing 0G experiments on the way to the moon and on the way back from the moon. And why is that? Like, how could they be on the way to the moon and be doing 0G all the time? Well, if you actually think about it, anything in the solar system is in a state of free fall. Everything is. The Earth is in a state of free fall around the sun in the solar system. The moon, Earth's moon, is in a state of free fall around Earth. Or if you could look at it as the bending of space-time, however you want to look at it, that's what the solar system is. It's a place where anything that goes there is falling. And also, anything that goes there is moving faster than 17,000 miles an hour. How's that? So what I'm saying is, in the Bible, there is a place of darkness where it doesn't have a bottom. It's bottomless. It's a deep abyss of never-ending. That's where they're going, you guys. They're going into the abyss. And I know that sounds crazy, but what we have to realize is when they go to space, okay, I want to just explain, okay, they're not going up into heaven. They're not ascending into heaven when they go to space. They're just going up to like the Kármán line, and then they're going sideways. And then they start falling. So they have to go up to the sky. In order to find the bottomless pit, they have to go up to the sky a little ways, and then they have to move sideways at a crazy fast rate. And of course, they think it's because of curvature of the Earth. So they're just falling perpetually around the Earth, but that's not what's happening. They're going into the sides of the pit. They're circling the north. You know how Lucifer said, "I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God." And then he said, I will, I want to look that up. He said he'll set his congregation in the sides of the north. Well, that's where Mount Zion is in the sides of the north. That's the throne of God. So he wants to exalt his throne there. And so what does like Lucifer says, "I will ascend into heaven and set my throne there." What does NASA say? "We will ascend into heaven and set our throne there." You see what I'm saying? NASA is Luciferian. SpaceX is Luciferian. They're all Luciferians. And I don't think they realize it.
But when they let fall the pillar, then will be the end of the world. And if anyone looks, he can see the pillar sloping in the heavens, but the demons he cannot see. But when they let fall the pillar, then will be the end of the world.
I have another one here. A good one, you guys. Oh, you guys want to see? Here. This is what I'm talking about. This is my footage of the space station, and this is not even a good copy. This is not like 2160 or anything. It's just 1080. And it's in slow motion, obviously. But I actually got some better footage the other night. Better than I expected. Where you can actually, like, if I zoom in on this, you can see it, you guys. I know it's not a perfect image or something, but you can see it. Oops, I'm trying to zoom out, not in. Okay, like, let me just pause it. And zoom in a little bit. Okay. I know it's just a blob of, whatever. But what color is it? It's scarlet colored, in a way, I guess. Scarlet color is It's like orange with a tinge of red, or red with a tinge of orange. Just saying. Let me show you something else while that's playing a little bit. Okay, so when they let down the pillar, then will be the end of the world, right? Well, if I find this video here. And then I have a funny one to play, a song that I made out of, it has Don Pettit starring in it and a few others. I think you'll like it. Let me find this one though that's called, where is it? It Is Coming. I think this is what it is, the one or no. What do you think? Okay, this one right here. Speaking of the pillar, the great pillar that where the demons can hold it up in the air and make it travel through the air, but when we look at it from the ground, we can't see the demons. We can see the pillar, but not the demons. Let's be very careful how we understand our reality right now. Whoops, let's start that one over.
Of being able to reuse these rocks.
Okay, so this is what I'm talking about when in Revelation 13, verse 13, it says this second beast, he doeth great wonders, and he makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
Propulsive landing. Getting the basic infrastructure of being able to reuse these rockets. Propulsive landing.
And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. We can't ignore this, you guys. God's showing us something.
Getting the basic infrastructure of being able to reuse these rockets.
Fast, you're going to do a final burn here in just a moment. There's final burn 1 and 2. 2 candles coming down. Double sonic booms.
Enoch saw him too, guys.
Woohoo! Two down, beautiful landing. And I see 2 standing.
Fuck yes! Holy shit!
I believe that it's important for the future to be a spacefaring civilization and out there, ultimately be out there among the stars. And I think.
Did you hear what he just said? Be out there among the stars. Now, in the chat, Rebel Nazarene says, what about space program gravy in the Book of Obadiah? I was waiting for this part of the video till I talked about that. Let's listen to Elon Musk one more time.
I believe that it's important for the future to be a spacefaring civilization, and out there, ultimately be out there among the stars. And I think that's
ultimately to be out there among the stars. Obadiah 1 verse 4 says, "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars." He even used the exact same phrase as Elon. Let's listen to Elon one more time.
Civilization, and out there, ultimately be out there among the stars.
So to be out there among the stars, it says here, "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord." It's always talking about thieves and robbers, you guys. Ezekiel 7 talks about robbers entering into his secret place and defiling it. And in the second Esdras, he says, "Don't defile my sanctuary." I think it's very important that we all take this stuff like to heart. Like, it greatly affects what we believe. All of this. So the dream of Apollo, that's something that Elon Musk. Actually, you know what? Let me play the beginning of a 2-hour video before we play that funny one. Okay. Hello, Monica. Good morning. Good to see you. Glad you could make it.
This is hopefully the first step on a journey towards a civilization on Mars, life becoming multiplanetary.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time.
And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
And think to change times and laws.
Life can become multiplanetary. This is the goal we should strive for.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name, and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven, tabernacle in heaven.
I believe that it's important for the future to be a spacefaring civilization, and out there, ultimately be out there among the stars,
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
Be out there among the stars,
be
out there among the stars,
and though thou set thy nest among the stars.
If the future does not include being out there among the stars, based on the moon and expanding beyond Earth and
among the stars,
be out there among the stars, life becoming multiplanetary.
And liftoff.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth.
Liftoff of the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket.
And he had 2 horns like a lamb. And he spake as a dragon.
That is something to think about, is it not? He saw a beast coming up out of the earth, and it had 2 horns like a lamb, and it spake as a dragon. And that's the same beast that made fire come down from the sky. And if you look at that first stage on your screen, that cartoon of the first stage, that is the only orbital class rocket that's ever landed. The only one. And it's done it 100 and something times now. Very important to realize that rather than just saying space, it's fake. Because honestly, when you say that, it just shows me you're not interested in the truth. You're more interested in a group think of truthers that think that there's some... I don't even know how to think that way anymore. Because I take to heart what Paul said in Ephesians. I take that to heart. I understand that Paul was trying to say something to us. It's very important. Put on the armor of God, you guys. Try to understand that this is not a war happening between us and other men, or your fellow brother, calling your fellow brother a liar. It's not helping anyone understand what's happening. But that's not, it's not my place to tell anybody else what to do, but I just want to encourage people to realize that these times that we're in, they're very, they're foretold. Every aspect of them is foretold. So that being said, we have to weigh that out. What is going to be important when it comes to truth? Is truth important? Yes, it's very very important. And another thing is, I followed Jesus. He said, before he was crucified, he said it to Pilate. He said, for this cause I came into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. So he said that he came here to bear witness of the truth. And then he said, everyone's that's of the truth hears his voice. So listen for his voice. I mean, I think I hear his voice. I mean, it's not to say anything about me. It's more to say that he's uttering his voice from the clouds or wherever, however that works. The Spirit of truth proceeds from the Father in heaven, and it's to guide us into the truth. And you wouldn't need to be guided into the truth if you weren't living in a lie, right? So this video is called Build It Back Again. And you'll like it. It's sort of a song, that I made. I get a kick out of it myself. Not to pat myself on the back, but let's watch it.
Do that. Well, we'll have to rely on space instead.
The problem is the moon. The problem is the moon. We don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology in a nanosecond. We don't have the technology to do that anymore, and it's a painful process to build it back again. I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond, build it back again, build it back again, build it back again, build it back again. We used to build it back again, build it back again, build it back again, build it back again. We used to build it back again, build it back again, build it back again, build it back again. In a nanosecond, destroyed that technology, destroyed that technology, build it back again, build it back again, build it back again, build it back again.
Don Pettit breaking it down, build it back again. That was fun to make that. I love making videos like that. So, it's fun. Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. Enoch 41.
And I saw the chambers of the sun and moon, whence they proceed and whither they come again, and their glorious return, and how one is superior to the other, and their stately orbit, and how they do not leave their orbit, and they add nothing to their orbit, and they take nothing from it, and they keep faith with each other, in accordance with the oath by which they are bound together. And first the sun goes forth and traverses his path according to the commandment of the Lord of spirits, and mighty is his name forever and ever. And after that I saw the hidden and the visible path of the moon, and she accomplishes the course of her path in that place by day and by night, the one holding a position opposite to the other before the Lord of spirits.
So that's my other channel. I haven't put a video up on there for a while, but Flatter Every Day, that's my other channel. It's kind of like a copycat of Smarter Every Day, but it's got the little dome head instead. Okay, this video here, I'm just playing some fun ones. This is called Giant Ball of Lava.
Earth is a giant ball of lava with a thin crust on the top. Thin crust. And it's mostly just a big ball of lava. That's Earth.
Giant ball of lava. Giant ball of lava. Giant ball of lava. Giant ball of lava. With a thin crust.
That's Earth.
That is real science.
And if you talk about symbolism, we got the, nine-headed dragon rocket, run by Elon Musk.
Liftoff. Semper Fi, aim high. Go Falcon, go Dragon.
That's where you have to go to Effed Up World and watch his videos about all the symbolism.
If you look at these flat Earth videos, they have hundreds of thousands of views, and just the thumbs up are just thousands and thousands of thumbs up. Look, I put up a video preaching against flat Earth where I just mentioned it a few minutes in a sermon, 1,000 thumbs down.
Steady state operating levels at 100% thrust at 3180. Vehicle dynamics starting to good zone. 30 seconds of mission.
Verse 3, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven. So Satan and his fallen beings inhabit up there in outer space. But remember, the Bible says he's the prince of the power of the air. Now, these satellites, if they're all the way up there at outer space, could the devil have a play in that one? Well, they mention about one time where they launched a thing called Dragon, which is very interesting. That name, Dragon. And Satan is right up there at the stars, and then now people are launching a thing called Dragon, and Elon Musk is launching all these satellites up there.
Splashdown in the Pacific Ocean. Welcome to Space to Ground. I'm Isidro Reyna. SpaceX's Dragon splashed down on March 19th, marking the end to its 10th resupply mission. More than 5,400 pounds of cargo, science, and technology demonstration samples made it back to Earth on Dragon, with the majority bound for laboratories around the globe for analysis.
It's a beast.
So how does it feel to ride in a Dragon on top of the beast named Falcon 9?
Yeah, wow. I tell you, I don't know if there's words really to properly describe what that felt like. You talked about sitting on a dragon on top of the beast, and it definitely was. You knew you were going somewhere, and this one was a little bit longer, so we actually had to live in Dragon for quite a while.
Ride in a Dragon on top of the beast named Falcon 9.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Sitting on a dragon on top of the beast. Yeah, wow. Sitting on a dragon on top of the beast.
It's a bottomless pit in this abyss of darkness.
They really believe in the space frontier, the abyss, so to speak.
A good abyss. A good abyss.
Or was it some technology like a Vimana or something, where they're trying to break through the dome? There's a YouTube channel called Effed Up World, which I'm kind of getting into. Guy's very religious, and he talks about the Bible where they talk about, wars in the stars and battles in the sky. And if you really look at a couple of those angles, it sure looks like there's some sort of battle going on. The symbolism with the SpaceX and NASA and the ISS, they're doing rituals up there, that match all this prophecy. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying any of that's real. I just find it fascinating.
What are some of the easiest ways that you can...
Okay, you guys will like this video with Michelle Thaler. She's going to tell us how the Earth is flat. It's obvious. Shout out DITRH. That guy's awesome.
can prove that the Earth is flat. There are so many proofs that the Earth is flat. It's difficult to know where to start. And it's not okay to think that the Earth is a sphere. This is not a viable argument. There are proofs all around you. It is not difficult to know that the earth is flat. In fact, people have known this for way more than 2,000 years. Go out to a lake, flat. And you could make all kinds of measurements. Then there are some other proofs that are a little more obscure, but they're actually really lovely. So people have known that the earth is flat for thousands of years. It's not okay to say that the earth curved. It's something where I keep getting this question. We really need to put this question to bed because we've known the earth is flat. Flat.
Even Michelle Thaler says it's flat. I mean, obviously, it's flat. That was a good edit. That's one of my favorite ones that I've ever done. Because it's hard to take someone's sentences and chop it up like that to say something the opposite of what they're actually saying and make it sound right. And that one actually worked out. Usually it doesn't really work out. So what are the stars? What are the fixed stars that circle the axis point where you may live, north or south? What is happening there? Enoch, again, has an explanation that might interest you. It sure interested me, and actually it's what I believe now. Check this out. And it came to pass after this that my spirit was translated, and it ascended into the heavens. And I saw the holy sons of God. They were stepping on flames of fire. Their garments were white, and their raiment and their faces shone like snow. And I saw 2 streams of fire, and the light of that fire shone like hyacinth. And I fell on my face before the Lord of spirits. And the angel Michael, one of the archangels, seized me by my right hand, and lifted me up, and led me forth into all the secrets. And he showed me all the secrets of righteousness. And he showed me all the secrets of the ends of the heaven, and all the chambers of all the stars, and all the luminaries, whence they proceed before the face of the holy ones. And he translated my spirit into the heaven of heavens. And I saw there, as it were, a structure built of crystals, and between those crystals tongues of living fire. And my spirit saw the girdle which girt that house of fire, and on its 4 sides were streams full of living fire, and they girt that house. And round about were seraphim, cherubim, and ophanim. And these are they who sleep not, and guard the throne of his glory. And I saw angels who could not be counted, 1,000 thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000, encircling that house. And Michael, and Raphael, and Gabriel, and Phanuel, and the holy angels who are above the heavens go in and out of that house. And they came forth from that house, and Michael, and Gabriel, and Raphael, and Phanuel, and many holy angels without number. And with them the head of days, his head white and pure as wool, and his raiment indescribable. And I fell on my face, and my whole body became relaxed, and my spirit was transfigured. And I cried with a loud voice, with the spirit of power and blessed and glorified and extolled. Lift up your eyes on high, and behold who hath created these things, that bringeth out their host by number. He calleth them all by names, by the greatness of his might. For that he is strong in power, not one faileth. Okay, so there's more of this video. There's like exactly two more minutes of this video, and it's mostly stars and star trails. But encircling that house that he saw, that house of crystals, or what, that was built out of crystal or whatever, where there was a throne and the Most High was there. What I want to say is that I do see a new heaven compared to what I used to see. And actually, I'll be honest, I see a new earth too. So maybe that's significant, maybe I'm reading into something, but I do see a new heaven and a new earth. And I live on the new earth, I guess. Just think about that. John in Revelation, he saw a new heaven and a new earth. And there was no more seas. I think he's talking about the waters above. Okay, so I'm going to play the rest of this video, but after that, I had an idea. I know it's late, and I'm not going to be on here very long, but I was thinking I have a video that I made a while ago with all of these subjects in it. I might play that. It's like 3 hours. And it's got everything that I kind of have learned. Not everything, but it's got a lot of the stuff in it. And I think the first time I uploaded it, I named it A Crucial Time or something like that. And maybe I'll find a link or something like that. But I'm going to play the video, I think, after this. And I might not be talking during it, but I'll probably watch it and probably fall asleep. But, because I got to work pretty early in the morning, so. But I do like to play that video, and I think that more people should see it. And, yeah, one thing I think is going against me, which is kind of weird, not necessarily against me, but as far as, like, getting subscribers or getting my videos for people to see this stuff that I'm learning, I don't monetize my channel. Like, you can't do super chats, and there's no way I don't get money from YouTube at all. So it's like, I don't want to. I don't need, that's not why I come on YouTube at all. I swing a hammer and I do just fine. Like, I don't care about the money end of things, at all, because that's something that I have the ability to do very easily by working. And so that's what I do. And it's like I couldn't even stop working if I wanted to. People just constantly call me. No matter what I'm doing, there's just more work than I can ever do. So what I'm saying is that while I'm working, I'm learning. I have my headphones on and I'm listening to the prophets who wrote the scriptures, because they're teaching me, or it's the spirit of truth. Whatever. All I'm saying is, I learned from, I don't know the guy's name, but I think his channel's Apocryphal. I don't remember what it was, 1970, something like that. And he was talking about monetizing his channel, and he said something that I never thought of before, and he said YouTube has zero reason to promote your video if you're not monetized, because they can't, or now they do. They play ads on my videos anyway, but sometimes it's because I'm using someone else's music or video or something, and they'll play ads, kind of, instead of penalizing or whatever. But he said they have no incentive to promote your channel if you don't monetize. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, you're right. That because all they are for me, like if you think about it, I have terabytes of videos. I have like, I don't know, 4,000 videos that are public on YouTube. I'm just saying, like, a lot of just like photography and, you know, videos of the sun, moon, stars, nature, whatever, time lapses and stuff. And I have them all on my channel, and I have, I don't know, probably 2,000 private videos that I've just never uploaded, or I've never published. So it's a totally free storage. It's like a storage warehouse for my videos, as long as I don't break their rules. But it's just interesting. Oh, thank you, Joe Dirt. Yeah, Apocryphile 1970. I was just listening to him one day, and I don't know if it was a new video or whatever, but that made a lot of sense to me. So I did consider monetizing my channel. And I actually looked into it and started the process or whatever, but then I have to get, like, I don't know what it is. It's like a place, I guess it would be like an account with someone where YouTube would send the money. And we're talking like, it wouldn't be much money. You can actually look that up. My channel, I don't know what does it say? I think it was something like $900 a year or something like that. But whatever it is, that's not why I would monetize. I would monetize to try to get the more out there. You know what I mean? More audience, or whatever you want to call it. I don't like to even call it audience. You guys are my friends. You guys are people that I don't know, people that I do know, people that like, I want all of you, any of you, no matter who you are. I want you to at least, I want to change your mind on anything, but I do want you to at least understand just like my perspective of things, because it feels very significant, and I've learned it in a, you know, and if you don't believe these things, then it might sound stupid what I'm saying, but I've learned it from a higher power. I've learned it from up above, in the heavens. And that I don't think anybody could prove, but I know it. I know that these things that we've been believing, I know that we've been believing a lot of lies. I know that. I might not know exactly what the truth is, but I know that I know one thing that's completely true, and that is that Jesus he brought truth to us. And it says in, I don't know, the book of the Gospel of John that, or is it that, I don't know where it is. Grace and truth came by Jesus Christ. And to me, that's so true. And I don't really know how to explain all that. I don't. But I'm going to stop yapping, and I'm going to play this video. Let's see what I named it this time. Because sometimes I have to change the name of a video if I re-upload it, because I can't upload the same video. So I just have to change the title. Did you guys like that? Build it back again. Build it back again. We used to. We destroyed that technology. I like that song. That was good. Okay. The Last Days. That's what this video is called right now. But yeah, share it out or whatever. All right. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. I'm selling lemonade over here. I'm just kidding. You know when the kids sell lemonade and you buy a cup and they're like, tell your friends. Okay. You always give them like way more money than they. I mean, it's no fair that kids are on the side of the road selling lemonade for 5 cents. Come on. COVID days, the gas prices out. I mean, you got to be like $10 for a lemonade if you're gonna make any profit, kid. Tell that to your children. Tell them they're gonna have to set up an LLC in order to sell lemonade these days. I'm just joking. Oh, was there a joke? Was there there's not a joke. If I say was there a joke, there's no joke. Okay, here we go. This video, I'm just going to play it. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'll probably be in the chat a little bit, but I probably won't be on here. Uh-oh, what's this? Free up storage space. Yeah, I know. Running low on storage. Okay, we'll play this video. I hope it plays good. Maybe I'll have to clean up some of my storage while it's playing. But maybe not. I probably can't even... I'm going to have to probably get my laptop in order to do the chat because my computer will complain. It'll make the video skip if I talk in the chat. But I love you guys, and thank you for hanging out. And here is a video called The Last Days. And share this video. I'll try to get a link in the chat of this video that we're going to play. It's like pretty... well, first of all, I admit that there's repetitive things in the video. There's things that... I'm not saying like videos that repeat, but there's themes that are repeated in different ways because they're valid. They're significant to the lives we live, I think. Here we go.
This is hopefully the first step on a journey towards a civilization on Mars, life becoming multiplanetary.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, and think to change times and laws.
Life can become multiplanetary. This is the goal we should strive for.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name, and his tabernacle, 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 and them that dwell in heaven, tabernacle in heaven.
I believe that it's important for the future to be a spacefaring civilization, and out there, ultimately be out there among the stars,
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
Be out there among the stars,
be
out there among the stars,
and though thou set thy nest among the stars.
If the future does not include being out there among the stars, based on the moon, and expanding beyond Earth, and
among the stars,
be out there among the stars, life becoming multiplanetary. The long-term aspiration is to develop the technologies necessary to transport a large number of people and cargo to Mars in order to create a self-sustaining civilization there. And that's really why I started the company, was because it seemed as though...
To create the possibility for life on other planets.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you decide you want to try and do this.
Can't just be like a handful of people, because that's obviously not going to create a self-sustaining civilization.
You'd made some money from the sale of PayPal. You decided to build a space company. Why on earth would someone do that?
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
The The goal of SpaceX is to try to advance rocket technology, and in particular to try to crack a problem that I think is vital for humanity to become a spacefaring civilization.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
Which is to have a rapidly and fully reusable rocket.
And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
What are the things that need to happen in order for the future to be an exciting and inspiring one? And I really think there's a fundamental difference if you sort of look into the future between a humanity that is a spacefaring civilization that's out there exploring the stars on multiple planets. And I think that's really exciting. And compared with one where we are forever confined to Earth until at some eventual extinction event.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
But the big innovation is still ahead, and you're working on it now. Tell us about this.
It's important that the rocket stages be able to come back, to be able to return to the launch site and be ready to launch again within a matter of hours.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
Wow.
Yeah.
Reusable rocket.
Yes.
I guess paves the way for your dream to actually take...
Yeah, I'm pausing it because that's me trying to get a link for it skipping like that, so I can't type on my computer. I'll have to go get my laptop and find a link from there. So, yeah. Here we go.
At some point, to take humanity to Mars.
Oh, now it won't play because I opened my dashboard on YouTube. Hold on. I got to close that, and let me actually close this. I had a bunch of web pages open, so I'm going to close them all. That should help. Not responding. Okay. Well, let's hopefully it responds. We'll see. I think I might have pressed too many buttons.
SpaceX or some combination.
Let me pause it. It's still trying to close that page. I hope I'm not trying to close the live stream page. Let's see. It's thinking. Sorry, guys. I got to let it think. Crack a problem. He says, yeah, totally. And that's what he says. Phil 1476 says, crack a problem. He says, talking about the firmament, question mark. But that's what he says. He says, in order to become a multi-planetary species. So we have to crack a problem. Interesting, huh? I don't know what's up with my computer. Maybe I should hit that close button again or something. Let me try to right click it. I'm probably just making it work worse. It's probably able to play, but it's gonna skip. Whoops. Now my program's not there. Where did it go? Good thing I got most of the stream done first. Like the stuff I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I'm just at the mercy of my computer right now. I don't even have my... Oh, there we go. There we go. We're getting somewhere. Oh, I had another... okay, here we go. I think it'll play now. Sorry, guys.
Need to make progress in the direction of making life multi-planetary, establishing a base on another planet, on Mars.
Okay. I'm getting an error from YouTube, and it'll clear up in just a second here. Okay, I'm closing another page. I didn't know I had another page open. Now I bet you it'll play. Let's try it now.
being the only realistic.
That's not working, I guess. Well, guys, how about this? How about if I put a link on my community tab for this video, and we go watch it where on YouTube where it'll play instead of here? Because I guess I got really nothing else I can do to get it working better. Let me just give it another minute or two to catch up, because I hear the motor in the fans running like crazy right now. Let's see here. Yeah, we're trying to play it. It didn't work very good. Well, just so you know, we're 6 minutes into the video. Whoops. 6 minutes and 4 seconds. How about this? I got an idea. I will just right now get a link for this video so you can watch it, or share it or whatever, or like there's a lot of scripture in this video that's like being laid out in our real world today, whether or not, like, I have people tell me all the time, oh, I talked to a pastor and he said that that's not what it's talking about. I'm like, okay, good, that pastor, I don't care about what a pastor says. What did the prophet write? John wrote all these things that he saw. Daniel said he saw these little horns and they flew up to the sky and they knocked the stars out of the sky. You guys know that the sky is going to roll up like a scroll, right? You know what causes that, right? That's probably, if I was going to say that there was something that my channel was trying to do, it would be one of the things that I've learned. It's not my channel anyway, it's my channel, but I'm saying that the things I talk about are not I'm not like, I don't have some arrow, I'm like, well, I'm going to study this today. I just learn these things as I'm reading this stuff and watching what's happening in the world. I mean, and what I'm saying is it's not my story at all. And the prophet, they're clear about what they said. You know, like Isaiah's, when he said what Lucifer said in his heart. That's very clear. I will ascend into heaven. And he also says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds and be like the Most High. Okay. What does it mean to ascend into heaven or to ascend above the heights of the clouds? That's exactly what they do. They ascend above the heights of the clouds and then they start falling sideways. They go sideways from there. They go parallel with the surface of the earth. What's happening is they're in, you know what? I forgot that I was looking for that link. Now it'll probably play too. Who knows? Let's see. No, I think I ruined the idea of it playing because it's not. Let me try just switching to another video. This one's called.
Speaking.
Whoops. This one's called "It Is Coming." Let's see if this will play. It's because I have this YouTube page open. Yeah, let's see here. I gotta go.
And he said to me, because of their iniquity, their judgment has been completed, and they will no longer be counted before me. Because of their sorceries, they have searched out and learnt the earth, and those who dwell upon it will be destroyed. And they came upon the wind from the east and from the west to the south. And the sound of the noise of their chariots was heard. And when this occurred, the holy ones observed it from heaven. And
okay, oops, sorry about that. I'm pausing it because I'm getting. First of all, I'm gonna get the link really fast here before, because I can't hit any buttons while the video's playing. I really like this video. Enoch 57, he saw men riding in wagons up in the sky, and their wagons were so loud that they shook the pillars of the earth and moved them out of their place. You guys know that that's like a turning point or whatever. That's a point of no return. When that happens, it won't go back it won't get fixed. Do you understand that? Because that's what Enoch was saying, and he was saying that the angels were, what was the word he said? Disquieted with a great disquiet. Now that word isn't in my normal vocabulary, so I had to look it up, but they're very uncomfortable or nervous about that noise and the shaking of the heavens. Do you guys know what a rocket does? Do you know that this starship that they're launching, one of the main problems that they're having in Texas with getting approved to launch there is that, like, really, you shouldn't be within like 9 miles of that launching, because it could damage you as like the noise, the sound. So when Enoch talks about the end of the sky, where the sky does this thing, and Michael tells him that this is the last day of God's long suffering. This was the last day that you just saw. That's what Michael said to him, Michael the archangel. Or he sent another angel over to tell him that. But he said, this is the last day of the long suffering that God has. He wants everyone to repent. And he would just have them all repent but we have free will, guys. And what does it mean to repent anyway? Just like realize that there is a reality to what the scriptures describe this world and the heavens to be. Like we just watched that video about the angels circling that crystal house where the throne of God is. You look up at the sky and you look at star trails. What are you seeing? There's reality to it. In the Bible, it actually accurately describes the earth that we live in. It isn't a bunch of lies like the solar system. What I mean is when it says that the earth is established, that it be not moved. All that means is that, hey, look at the ground. It is established and it never moves. I mean, it moves in an earthquake, but I'm saying it's stable, it's still, it's solid, it's founded. There's so many words that describe something that doesn't move. It's not in motion. Not a day in your life. And nothing circles around the sun. Nobody's ever seen anything orbit the sun. Ever. We've seen the sun up in the sky. Very small compared to the world we live in. I've had people tell me that I'm dumb because I don't realize that the sun is the exact same thing as all the stars. And I said, it's not. It's much larger. We get heat from it. It goes on a daily, like it lights up the whole daytime. Like we get our daytime from it. It's a clock in our sky. We don't go around it. And that's exactly what the Bible says. It says that I can't remember the exact words, but it compares it with running a race, like on a circuit. It runs in a big circle around over the earth, above us in the sky. That's the world we live in. Not the one where we're falling around the sun and it's bending space-time. We're riding the wave, We're riding the space-time wave.